We're talking about bullying, and we're talking about ways of overcoming bullying and putting the pieces together. As I said in the last segment, I want you to remember something. Before you do anything else, know one thing about this with all your heart. You are special. And what I've come to learn is people who hold themselves in high regard, there are some people who don't, and it's easier for them to talk about you, to discourage you, than it is to encourage you. But we have the power of choice. When we see things that are being done wrong, we have to realize that we have something that can make us change our situation. But you know what it starts with? It starts with our mindset, and it starts with our attitude. Young people, as you're listening, I want you to understand something. Tell somebody. If you're having trouble with anybody, tell somebody. I know that there's an old saying that snitches get stitches, but let me tell you something. That saying came straight from a bully. That's a sign of someone trying to intimidate you from opening your mouth. The world will only change when you're willing to open your mouth and change. I used to have a friend of mine, and when he prayed, he always said, change isn't change until there's change. I know that sounds like a bunch of rhyming words, but you have to understand something. The change starts in you. Now, talking about bullying, talking about the changes, talking about the definition, knowing that we're special, ask yourself the question, why am I a target of bullying? I know everyone's different for whatever reason. Black, white, thin, heavy, tall, short, for whatever reason. And let me tell you something. There's no such thing as a perfectly built person, because you will still get talked about. You can be very attractive, and someone will try to talk about you, to bully you, to make you feel, oh, she thinks she's all that because she has this going on, or he thinks he's all that because he has this bill. It doesn't matter. Here's the thing. I really believe bullies are on assignment of the Lord, not the devil, to push us to our destiny. I want you to understand something. The most successful people in life didn't get into the success they had by something that went right, but usually it was by something that went wrong. There has been more triumphs birthed out of tragedy than there have been anything else. And this is the thing I want you to think about. But make no mistake about what I'm saying. Bullying is not something we have to accept. You know, I heard someone say the other day, well, you know, kids will be kids. Yes, kids will be kids, but we still need to listen to what our kids are saying. And that's not an acceptable answer anymore, that kids will be kids, because kids are taking their lives because they can't handle the pressure of what's going on. For another presentation, I'm just going to touch on the tip of it here. Social media is a very big issue. Now, when I was growing up, when you were dealing with bullying, it was a little bit different, because we had the escapism. Now, unfortunately, it's never ending, because people can be bullied with social media. But make no mistake about this. Bullies know what they are doing. They know right from wrong. But see, here's the thing. They get a sense of satisfaction knowing that they've done something to make you feel insulted. Sometimes the thing that we have to do is we have to make sure that we don't let them see that they're winning and what's going on with us. One of my personal stories of having to deal with overcoming bullying was, and again, I wasn't immune because I was born with one arm. Not only that, I had to wear prosthesis. So when I was wearing this prosthesis, you know, I got labeled with a nickname Captain Hook, because the prosthesis at the time that I wore when I was young did not have a cosmetic hand. It had a prosthetic hook on the end of it. So every time I would go somewhere, the first thing the kids would say was, "Aye, Captain Hook." And everywhere I would go, I was called Captain Hook. Until one day, I was telling to my grandmother, and my grandmother said, "Baby, as long as they see that bothers you, they're going to continue to do it. You got to figure out how to turn that nickname around on them." So as time went on, I started thinking, how can I change a nickname like Captain Hook? And I figured it out. Since anytime I would say something, the first thing the kids would do was salute and say, "Aye, Captain," I'd hit them off saying, "That's an order." And slowly but surely, that nickname began to wear off. Why? Because people will label you to limit you.